Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Two Dudes Podcast. I'm Rick, that's Kevin. We're bringing you another one. Kev, how you doing today?
Not too bad. Dismal day outside. Wish I'd have cut my grass yesterday before it rained. Outside that I'm good.
That's good. Um, I'm going to get to my main topic in a second. I want to go over some other things because you'll agree with me when we get to the main topic. But
Okay.
I got a couple things I want to go over. One in the news, and then you mentioned a movie to me. I don't know if you remember, 2, maybe 3 weeks back, Boss Level.
Yeah.
I did go on Hulu and I
Mm-hmm.
checked it out. I was pleasantly surprised. For anybody out there who hasn't seen it, Boss Level is a movie with Frank Grillo. Um, if you don't know who that is, if you're familiar with the Avengers, he was Crossbones in that, or at least in the Captain America movies. And it's about a guy who experiences the same day over and over again, and he has to figure out how to get to the next level each and every time so that he can save his girlfriend. It was formulaic, but you know what? Most action movies are. So I still found it entertaining, and I liked it. Um, I like him as an actor, and I kind of wonder, why hasn't he been in more stuff before? So I'm hoping that he's on the rise.
Well, the thing is, one, surprisingly, he's not a bad actor. I'll give him that. Two, I think he's been reluctant to be that action type because you've seen him here and there. Where every time you see him, he's like military or something. So I
Yeah,
think he was kind of in like denial, shall we say? But now I think he's accepted it because you've seen him in more, and he's always in an action scene or something. So it's one of the things to where they go typecast you unless you John Cena or The Rock, to where you can change that typecasting. You either run with it or you go broke. I think you finally realize to run with it.
that's true. So since you brought up The Rock, he's a little bitter right now because he's making the movie Black Adam,
Mm-hmm.
but the people that are in charge of DC can't seem to make up their mind on who's going to play what part. We had a Superman, now we don't. We had a Justice League, then we didn't, now we do again. But they say we won't do any more Justice League movies. Um, we have a new Batman. I guess that movie's coming out sometime next year. But we had Ben Affleck, so
He was trash.
I disagree.
Ben
And
Affleck's best movie was Argo in The Town. Those two roles he played brilliantly.
bro, the
Batman, he
town,
was
the
much of an
town
a-hole.
was fire. The
Yeah.
town was fire. Argo, and
So that's because you're not intelligent enough for the
I'm
distinction
very
that
intelligent.
Argo gives.
Whatever. Anyway, back to DC. I They're trying too hard to do something, and then when it doesn't succeed, they run and change it instead of letting it fly.
See,
Um,
and another problem DC got, um, Henry Harvey Cavill, how you say his name, whatever.
Henry,
He wanted to keep playing Superman. They didn't want to
yes,
pay
the fans want him.
the man.
The fans want him to be Superman. For whatever reason, they don't want him to be Superman, which is stupid as hell. The Rock wants him to be Superman. The Rock said he wanted his movie to build up to an epic battle between him, Shazam, and Superman. And we may not get that now.
You
So the
say
question
Shazam?
is, yeah, because Black Adam is one of the enemies of Shazam.
Shazam, the little dude with the bubble gum on the promo.
Yeah, that dude.
He's gonna be somebody at some point. Do I need
No,
to watch
no, no, no,
Shazam? Is that what
no,
you're telling
bro.
me?
Have you seen Shazam?
No, I ain't seen
Okay,
Shazam or Kazam. I ain't seen either one.
Shazam is the little kid. When he says Shazam, he turns into a huge adult superhero.
The dude in the red, right?
Right.
But he looked goofy as hell, so I'm gonna take him serious as an action hero.
But here's the thing, if they do it right, it can work because you had in Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers.
No, but remember
comedy,
they
action, and
just
they put it
redid
together.
Shazam.
Well, say
Remember,
what?
they just redid Shazam, what, 2 years ago?
There's never been a Shazam movie until the one. Well, that's the thing. They're going to keep him. They're already starting to film the sequel for that.
As I'm talking, they just did that like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yes. The problem
It looked
is,
goofy as hell. That's why I didn't watch it. I was like, I can't take him serious.
no, it was a good movie. You need to check it out.
So I
To
need to
me,
watch that with this goofy looking ass dude.
to me, it's the best of the DC superhero movies. Period.
That's
Hands
sad
down.
if that's the case.
Well,
That's really sad.
what's sad is I need to find out who's going to get their way. Will Warner Brothers get their way and scrap everything and start over for the umpteenth time? Or will The Rock get his way and get Henry Cavill in the Superman suit one more time? But we'll keep a close eye
Get
on
his
that.
way because he'll take a pay cut.
He might. It depends. Keep in mind, it has taken 5 years to get the Black Adam movie ready for production. They are finally starting it. So
now the ball's rolling, and The Rock got so much attention between the liquor, the XFL, whispers that he coming back to wrestling. He gonna do whatever to make it happen. Right now, everything's going in the right direction for him. Why let somebody else fuck up what he got going?
Well, let's put it this way. Danny's going to do everything to make it happen because she's pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Here you go, acting like she do more than he do. They both have their jobs.
And her job is to make everything happen for him.
You know what? You shouldn't be head of Title 19,
I shouldn't I? Anyway, speaking of men and women, this is out of the news today, and this was heartbreaking and hilarious at the same time. Woman discovers at her son's wedding the bride is her long lost daughter. Oh, you heard that right. Let me repeat that for you. Woman discovers at her son's wedding the bride is her long lost daughter. Now, I'll just paraphrase everything for you, and then I'm gonna get your reaction. What happened was, and this is in I want to say Japan or somewhere in the Far East. Her son was in the wedding. This is the first time that she met the bride, and I guess she noticed the birthmark on the bride's hand, and it looked familiar because the daughter that she had that same birthmark. She got with the bride's parents and she started questioning things. Hey, is she by chance adopted? And it turns out they said, yes, we adopted her. Apparently, the child got lost or kidnapped or something at a young age. And she never saw her daughter again until this time. And come to find out that it really is her daughter. I don't know if it had anything to do with trafficking or something like that, but the kid ended up in the hands of the other parents. And, years later, here we are at this wedding. By the way, they did get married, but I'll explain that in a second. Well, I better explain it now because you're looking crazy. The son was also adopted. But I don't know about you, bro. If it's me, adopted or not, if we have the same woman that we call in mama, I'm not marrying you. Can't do it.
So let me get this straight. Your biological is on the stage regardless. You had a daughter, You lost her to the Russian mafia. Then all of a sudden, your adopted son finds your daughter when he on vacation, and then they fall in love. And when you finally meet her, you realize you see something familiar, but you don't speak on it, but you speak on it. Then you find out on wedding day, that's your daughter.
Well, the wedding day was the same day that they met.
And they're white, aren't they?
No, this is in Japan or China or something like that.
I can't believe they let that happen. Don't everybody got a serial code or something they walk around with?
I don't know how that works overseas, but
that's some wild shit though. But in today's world, sadly, you got to say this probably happened more than once. That's the crazy part about it.
How do you introduce her? Hey, this is my sister wife.
It's not your sister, it's your wife. I mean, she wasn't around, so it's just like, this is my wife that happens to know my mom.
That's your mom's biological daughter. That's your sister wife. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
That's wild.
Yes, wild and crazy. It is a hit. It was going okay until I read the part about, well, they went ahead and got married anyway.
I mean, there's no reason for them not to.
Yeah,
no
there is.
than,
That's your sister.
No, it's not. I'm adopted. That's nothing to me.
The same person you call mom, she calls mom now.
I mean, but when you get married, isn't your spouse supposed to call you your parents' mom, dad anyway?
Damn, bro.
But that's no different than, say, you are adopted and a second or third cousin has a daughter that you done met on spring break. Y'all kicking it, don't realize y'all family. Y'all ain't really family because you're adopted into the family. So if y'all start dating, who really can say something because you're not family? You're just family by paper.
I guess I'm just old fashioned about that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's just, the thing is, this is where you can get technical. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. Or it's just like when you know, back in the 70s, everybody was your uncle or your mama's special friend, and you young, you just like, oh, okay. Fast forward that 15, 20 years later, you in college, you meet a chick, y'all from the same city, just you on the south side, she on the east side or whatever. Y'all end up kicking it. Then you bring her home one day. Hey, mom, this is such and such. And your mom frees up and be like, I've heard that name before. Turns out that's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. But
Bro,
it goes to show you how the world is, one, getting too small, and two, running out of space. Granted, basically the same thing, but to where something like that can happen.
Bro, you know what I just thought of?
What?
This is a Spike Lee movie. I don't know if you ever seen it before, called Old Boy.
Oh boy.
Old Boy.
I've never seen that one.
It's actually a remake, but Spike Lee made it. It has Josh Brolin in it, you know, same dude that plays Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the chick is Elizabeth Olsen, the same chick that plays Scarlet Witch. But
wow,
bro, let me break down this movie for you. In his younger years, he gets captured by this group of gangsters, and they put him in a cell for, I want to say 20 years. He's locked up for 20 years, doesn't know why. And he's just waiting and waiting. The plot is escape some kind of way, and he's going to get revenge. He's got to find out who did it and everything. He lost his wife. He lost his little girl. Then one day, all of a sudden, the cage is just left open. And he runs out, he gets out because he doesn't want to take a chance and see if, you know, they come back and close the cage and all that. He goes back out into the world and he's, you know, living his life, but he's trying to, you know, be the detective and put things together and find out who locked him up all those years ago, how he can find that person, get revenge. Somewhere along the way, he meets a girl and they strike up a relationship. And, you know, obviously they sleep together and all that good stuff. He puts his clues together on his case, though. He finally confronts the man or group that did what they did. And in the room that he's confronting them, the dude shows film back in the day, him, his wife, and his daughter. And he's talking about, I'll never have that time with them again. They're gone. And he's like, your wife is gone. She died at an early age, but you can still have a relationship with your daughter. How? How can I find her? I don't even know what her name is or where she is. Oh, yes, you do. You're sleeping with her.
Next subject. Next.
It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
I
All
can't
right.
believe Spike would direct something like that.
It
That's
was interesting.
unspike-like.
It was very interesting. All right,
Sleeping with
so
the dog.
sticking with actors, Chris Hemsworth says that he will never be taken seriously for his film roles simply because in the eyes of the Academy, he hasn't lost or gained an unhealthy amount of weight. I kind of agree with him on that, and here's the reason why. These guys that look athletic, that have these kind of roles, they never get taken seriously. But you get somebody that starves themselves until they're rail thin, people say, "Oh, he went the extra mile. This is a good actor." Or somebody that gains a lot of weight for a role, "Oh, this is a method actor. They're really getting into character." How is that any different than like a superhero role? Because dude still has to get in shape. He has to work actually harder. And it's still acting because you're still pretending to be somebody you're not. So it is a double standard, if you ask me.
It's one of those things to where they just basically sliding him for a lot of his movies have been action movies. That's all it is. They and you gotta think about the Academy. End of the day, they're not fans of action movies. Action movies have been dominating the box office for the past decade plus. And all these think pieces, these documentaries, they've been getting pennies on the dollar. They're not happy about that. So therefore, everybody involved with action movies, you basically gonna get shitted on. You'll win an award for costume set design and special effects and soundtracks or whatever.
Yeah, some old bullshit.
You'll never get movie of the year, best actor, best actress, shit like that. You're not gonna get the meat and potatoes. You're gonna get all the sides. You know what I'm saying? So for him to make that acknowledgement to me is asinine, because you can be a good actor and never done it. Denzel ain't never lost her game. Denzel just been Denzel. And he puts it down.
But let me counterpoint that. Denzel never won anything until he finally changed up his style, because he was always playing the good guy. He plays in Training Day. He played in Training Day.
He didn't say style. He said weight.
That's true.
Denzel never went up or down in weight. That's the caveat to it. He said weight, not style. Now, Denzel's had Oscar-worthy performances in other movies.
Oh, we remember the tear in Glory.
That right there, that tear deserved an Oscar. That motherfucker was like, what is it on Price is Right? Plinko, put that chip down.
Oh, you got too much time on your hands. You mentioned Price is Right and Plinko.
Hey, nigga, I got 3 weeks. I start working.
Hey, congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. No,
all right,
they doing too much. He's overthinking it. Me personally, I ain't losing shit for no role. It's not healthy. 50 Cent, I don't think he ever really, when he dropped that weight and when Matthew McConaughey dropped that weight, that shit looks sick.
Although I will say this, Christian Bale was able to pull it off.
When he did that shit too.
He did it in Memento, and he gained his back under duress, because they were like, look, if you want to play Batman, when you come on this set, you better be jacked. So, yeah, but you're right about 50 Cent and Matthew McConaughey. They ain't looked right ever since. All right, let's talk about one of my favorite athletes, a Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So, have you ever heard of Grove 23?
No.
All right, I'm going to fill you in. If you ever happen to be in Florida and you want to play some golf, well, never mind, you won't play there, but it's called Grove 23. And the reason why you won't play there, it is a super secretive golf course built by Michael Jordan up to Michael's specifications, and it's built for his style of play on the golf course. The thing about Grove 23 is there are fewer than 100 members. And if you want to play there, it is by invitation only. So I'm hoping this expands one day, because I would really love to say I got to play at Grove 23. And I guess they call it Grove 23 is because it was in a spot in Florida where when he bought the land, there were a lot of orange groves on the land that they took out to make the course. I actually like Ricky Fowler's um, his name for it. He calls it Slaughterhouse 23 simply because it's built to Mike's specifications. So if you are really good at the short game, but you can't hit worth the shit off the tee, you're going to get killed.
But the question is, though, just because it's Michael's course, that don't mean he can play it right.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, when you go up against these PGA pros, he probably ain't going to be coming out victorious.
That's strong possibility.
He can make up for that. He'll call Charles Barkley when he needs a W.
Now, Barkley, his swing then got better.
Has it now?
He don't do that. He just
because he
actually has a motion now.
He had a horrible hitch.
I can't be mad at him because my shit in the beginning, it was trash. So I can't.
Everybody's was though. Everybody's was.
Yeah, but I mean that's dope that he got his own course, and it's like a private, by invitation, type setup. Because how many black men can say that in their lifetime?
Counting him, one.
Exactly. This makes the Legend of Bagger Vance that much more special.
That talk about a trash movie, but that's another day for another time. All right. Before I close it out with sports, I want to get to the main topic though. Bro, they say pimping ain't easy. It is if you're Ronald Isley.
Yeah. That is very true.
A man of my age, my stature, I ain't been too much into Verzuz, except for, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, several months back. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But Sunday topped them all. Sunday was on point.
Sunday was monumental, and I think it solidified Verzuz.
Yes, it did. I agree. What was the statement somebody made? There's never been in the history of the United States that many grandmothers out there that learned about the internet in one day.
See, I did it smart. I waited till Verzuz was over, told my mom about it Monday, and sent her the link Tuesday.
There you go.
Because all she does is forward it to her laptop. She click it, she can watch it, she good to go. I sent her the link, and I sent her the Spotify playlist from the Verzuz. So she's good. I had to worry about that Sunday. I didn't want to be bothered with that. But what I will say, Triller, or however they call themselves.
Yeah, Triller.
And them versus Swiss and Timbo played that very smart. What they did was very dope. Although they burned some bridges with Apple, because I think Apple thought they was gonna merge with them officially. And he said Triller, is that what they call themselves?
Yeah.
Triller came with a better deal, and they signed with Triller. Because what they were saying when I watched them on Breakfast Club, when you perform and you're a part of it, being an artist, you own a piece of the company. So Legends just got a piece of the whole Verzuz platform. Because they're going to keep doing this for a while. I don't think it's stopping no time soon. And when the world is really back open, I'm expecting there's going to be a tour out of this for several different acts. But they timed it right because you picked Easter Sunday. I learned this past Sunday, Easter's back to how it was 3 years ago. Remember Easter Sunday was nothing open, everything closed, right?
Right.
So, I was at the gig Sunday. A lady gave me a $10 tip. I was like, man, I'm going to Dairy. Come give me some ice cream with this. Like a big ass kid. And I was like, I don't feel like cooking. Moms didn't cook or whatever. I'm going to go grab something to eat on the way to the crib. I'm driving. Wingstop closed because of the holiday. let me see, Gates, packed. Every parking spot had a car in it. People trying to get their barbecue or whatever. Chipotle closed. Popeyes closed. Panera closed. I pull up to Minsky's, they busy, they packed. I was like, I'll order when I get home from them or whatever. I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna go get my ice cream at Dairy Queen, get something to eat from Dairy Queen, all in one stop. Dairy Queen closed, holiday. I was like, ain't this a bitch? Everybody was just closed. I ended up with some damn Wendy's. Ended up with some Wendy's and a fucking Frosty. So you know I was disappointed. But it was dope to see these companies are waking the fuck back up. Even like Lowe's was closed. They waking back up and they like, all right, hey, y'all need to go home to your family. This shit'll be here tomorrow. And that was dope to see. Target was closed. Like everybody was, you know, not Chick-fil-A, you know, they always close. Everybody was like Chick-fil-A on Sunday. So because of that and that Verzuz being there, everybody was at home. And like I had it up on my laptop because I pulled up Triller and I had signed up to where I had it on there. And I'm watching it, and then I'm on Facebook on my phone, and all I'm seeing was, man, this reminds me when I be in my grandparents' car in the back seat or my daddy. It was nostalgia in a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it took you back. It took
what
you way
I didn't
back.
like is the slander on Steve. I didn't like the slander on Steve. And that just shows how we don't understand concept and we're so impatient. Because if you know the Isley Brothers, you know Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know that era, they're not talkers. They perform, they do their thing, they go. They're not talkers at all. So you got to have a mouthpiece to get them to talk. And what did Steve do? Oh man, when this came out, this was 19, I remember I was doing this. He related the song to what he was doing to where you got to thinking what you were doing when the song came out. Then what happened? Them niggas start talking. Then what happened? Earth, Wind, and Fire said, man, the hell with this. They got up, they started performing. Then you saw Ryan was head down. Am I gonna do this? I'm gonna sing one from the sea. Nah, I gotta get up and go. And Ernie had like 3 fucking guitars on stage. I was like, damn, Ernie, I was like, you ain't got, but what he do? He started being next thing you know, Ernie talk. When the last time you heard Ernie actually talk?
It's been years. And interesting facts. Interesting facts are most of them songs Ernie wrote.
I thought Ernie was a damn mute. I thought the guitar talked for him. He was like, I wrote that. I was doing this. I was like, oh shit, Ernie can talk.
Exactly. You know, I thought Ron and Ernie were like Penn and Teller. Teller don't never talk.
That's what I thought Ernie was. Then, you know, as you sitting there, you watching, and next thing you know, you like already, you're like, okay. And I told her, I said, and I put it on Facebook. I said, if they start performing, this is about to be a long. When they started performing, I said, you know what? It's time for me to open that Apple Crown. You gonna get these good ice cubes, pour some in there, drink Apple Crown straight on the couch, just bob my head, enjoying the music. You couldn't ask for a better situation. So that was real dope what they did. And they've had some other ones like that, but it wasn't for the masses. You know what I'm saying? As far as it wasn't for the older, because it's our parents' music, and that's where you're kind of in and out of that. You kind of got your foot in both sides of it because of your age.
Right.
So it's like it's our parents' music, but it's what they put on us, and we grew with it, and we didn't know how much we grew in it until that night. Because like you'll want to hear old school, and you might put in 80s or 90s, you know, on a Spotify or something while you cleaning. You got reminded Sunday, that's your old school. That's what you're always listening to. That's what you're searching for when you're trying to find something on Spotify. You go, oh, this is old school. No, that's not old school to you. This is old school to you.
Right.
And it got reaffirmed. Ron Isley has more swag than anybody ever created. And to be 79 and your wife is 44 with a 15-year-old kid is fucking mind-blowing.
Keeps his ass young.
That nigga Ron. I said he is the only person I know that lives his character that was created. He is
bro.
Mr.
When
Big.
you posted the image on Facebook, I don't know if it was Instagram, Facebook, or both. 1980 Ron, 2021 Ron. Both of them wearing the chinchilla fur coat.
The simple fact that I know you're in Atlanta if they had Steve doing it. Because I saw earlier he was doing Easter with his family. He went from Easter to Verzuz. So it's hot in Atlanta. You look up, this nigga coming out there with a chinchilla on, looking just, hey, hands down. Brother got chinchilla on live. But then you see when he take the chinchilla off, the suit was cold. I want that suit great. But you don't have a typical
hat and the cane.
Let's stick on the coat for a minute. It wasn't a coat. You had a trench coat for a suit coat. Then you got the cane and everything else. I'm just looking like, hold on, bro. You in Atlanta. You got on a lot of hot, but you so smooth and you ain't sweating one bit. And then the nigga had the perfectly great manufactured beard I have ever seen in my 42 years of this world. I was like, man, he a bad man. And the icing on the cake, I don't know if I posted it. I don't know if you watched it. Afion Crockett, Godfrey, and Spice Adams doing their parody of the Verzuz after that. 45 minutes of the funniest shit you will ever laugh at.
I saw your post, but I hadn't looked at it yet.
Shit was hilarious. Because Godfrey does the best impersonation of Steve Harvey I've ever heard. To where you think it's fucking Steve. And then Spice was Ron, to where he dropped his cane. He was like, so I didn't know Ernie is when you pick my cane up for me. I was like, he is a fool for that. And then A-Bound was old boy from Earth, Wind and Fire with the long hair.
Yeah, Verdine.
Yeah, and it was funny because Spice me and Ron talking about, Verdine, how you get your hair like that with that bounce and everything? He was like, oh man, you know, Ron, it's all juice and berries, you know what I'm saying? Juice and berries have been string a long time. I was like, they are stupid.
Can we talk about Verdine's hair for just a minute? Because I'm gonna make this statement, and I know you gotta agree with me. Because Verdine done had that long straight hair for a long, long time. There are women out there who are jealous of that hair.
The man's beautician is bad.
Perfectly straight, shiny, full of body. There were women that would kill for that hair.
Hell, Philip Bailey would kill for that hair. What's that damn patch he got? I swear every time I see him, it shifts. Like it was here, now so next time it'll be over there. I'm like, man, just cut that, let it go. Just let it go. But
yeah,
to wrap it up, that was a great Verzuz. That is the best one. You know, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu was a good one. Snoop and DMX was a good one. A lot of people like E42 Short, but that was a coastal thing. Then like the Ghostface Raekwon, that was a good one, but that was a coastal thing also. But that run, and you know, everybody liked they liked Gladys, and I mean that guy, but was Patty LaBelle. She had hers. Everybody liked that one. Brandy and Monica, they loved that one.
I forgot about that one. That one was a good one too.
Yeah, but Monica always about that life. She always stay on guard. So if she'd have loosened up a little bit more, that one could have had a bigger impact. But I mean, overall, it was a good one.
And and it wasn't really a battle. It was more of a celebration, you know.
Well, it's never a battle. It's celebration. I don't know why they even. It's just like they phrased it that, and they can't get away from that phrase.
But here's the thing, though, and I did not know this until Steve mentioned it. The Isley Brothers have 40 he either said 45 or 48 platinum albums.
Ridiculous. Everybody talking about greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Now I throw this out to you since you're older. You know, you kind of in the Ron Isley, you know, group of beard color. Could the Temptations take them?
I'm gonna say no, and here's the reason why. remember what Ron said during the show. They started off at Motown as well. Now, what was that song? This Old Heart of Mine or whatever, one of their first hits when they were with Motown.
Yeah.
If you look at that song and you look at the rest of their catalog, they grew by leaps and bounds when they left Motown. They were freer to do more of what they wanted to do. The Temptations are still all about that Motown formula.
Yeah.
Isleys have grown.
Your boy would have it no other way. You go do the Motown formula. The only reason why I asked that because Earth, Wind, and Fire had hits, but it really wasn't an even match. You go do hit for hit. It really wasn't an even match.
Bro, it was even. Earth, Wind, and Fire had some heat. They
don't have as much as. The reason why I say they don't have as much is because Earth, Wind, and Fire is fireball like that. Isley Brothers is right there too, but when it came to 90s into current, Isley Brothers kept going.
Well, you gotta remember though, 90s until current, Earth, Wind, and Fire lost Maurice White when he died.
Hey, Isley lost some niggas too. It was like 30 of them niggas.
But they didn't lose Ronald.
Hey, still about 30 of them niggas. They lost some niggas too.
But if you don't lose your lead singer, you're gonna be all right. You're depending on Philip Bailey to carry the entire load.
And he has. The question is though, I wonder why no one, or maybe reluctance on their part, because Ron has said before when he was working with R. Kelly, he slept on the couch and they made magic. I wonder why nobody has went to Earth, Wind, and Fire been like, let's re-invoke some life into y'all to, follow their lead. Because we've seen it with other groups that it didn't work. I'm just like, but then again, at the same time, the Isley Brothers aren't a big band. They're just Ernie on the guitar and Ron singing.
Yeah, and then session musicians. And that plays a lot into it because if you want the Isley Brothers to do something, it's just got to be a yes between Ernie and Ronald. If you want Earth, Wind, and Fire to do something, you got to go through 3 or 4 people that all have to agree.
Well, see, I don't even know if it's even that. I think it's an aspect of how many producers now can write for a whole band. You get what I'm saying? They can be like, you play this, you play that. How many, outside of, again, as we said before, Kales, who can really do that?
I will say this, though. You'd be surprised on how many people have songs that have the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns as the horn section in those songs.
Yeah. Both they sample games is wild. Because Spotify literally has a playlist, songs sampled that are Isley and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I didn't even I started to hit play. I said, I don't even want to know.
You go down that rabbit hole. You go down that rabbit hole, we ain't gonna see you for a week.
That's all I was like, I can't do it. I don't want to be, I don't want to be ruined.
By the way, I got most everything of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I've got a several, but not near everything of the Isley Brothers.
Oh, I got everything Isley,
We're gonna have to talk then. We're gonna have to talk then.
Yeah, man, point blank. Next time you come in town, just get you one that holds about 8 gigs. We gonna fill it up.
Bro, I ain't even gonna wait. I'll just send you one.
I was like, send it with a list. Send it with a list. I got you.
The list will be simple.
Send it with a list.
It'll say Isley Brothers. That's your list.
I will literally take everything I got in there. I got their whole catalog. I'm just gonna click and drag it over, and it's done. Just that quick. All you got Nick, you know the address. You never been here enough.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, we gonna do this.
I'm looking out for it, and I'll make it happen. Yeah, but just wrapping up the verses, it was great. I sit and watch that shit again. I don't care.
I want to say one more thing about it. When Ronald said when he writes a love song, when he writes about a woman, I like how he put it. He said that it's always to compliment her. You don't have that nowadays. You don't. Nowadays, love songs are not about love. They're like, ooh, baby, baby, let me bend you like a pretzel and do you all night long. That's not a love song.
That's why the game won't really say how much they miss R. Kelly right now. Because I just told somebody yesterday, he's been in jail for a good minute. Imagine the music that's in his head right now that he ain't been able to get out.
Everybody's missing Kells except for people that have teenage daughters.
You know, they money grubbing that shouldn't have had him around them to begin with. As I look at it, I feel what you're saying.
Before we close this out, I want to touch on two sports things here. First things first, we talked about it. Major League Baseball is moving the All-Star game. I don't know where because I'm not a baseball person. Because of the it was supposed to be in Atlanta, and because Georgia changed the voting law, and that makes it harder for people of color and or minorities to actually vote. What in the hell is Georgia thinking?
Best way I can put it, if that succeeds and stays in place, other states are going to follow suit. We're about to go back to a Civil War type setup, unfortunately.
Well, where I'm going with this is because we mentioned that Major League Baseball is moving the All-Star game. Do you think the NFL would do something radical, like say, oh, we're not playing any Vikings games? I mean, not Vikings, any Falcons games in Atlanta until this thing gets resolved? And do you think that would shift some power?
They won't do that because the league baseball didn't do that for the Braves. They just said what they control. Now, if the Pro Bowl was supposed to be in Atlanta, they would move the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl is the NFL's thing. The Falcons, that's Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank is a piece of the puzzle to the NFL. So they're not going to dictate, hey, you need to play your games over here. But as far as the Pro Bowl, they control that wholeheartedly. They will relocate that. They'll relocate the Super Bowl. They won't relocate anything else.
True.
But what they will do is probably tell Arthur, you should get involved to try to change that. Because imagine how that would look for the NFL if they're involved in the change.
Yeah, now if Arthur said, we're going to move a couple of our games, ooh, that might change some things.
Yeah.
All right, so our good friend Coach Hugh Jackson is writing a book, and he's going to tell everything that he knows about the ins and outs of the Cleveland Browns. I guess they did him dirty, and he wants to put it all out there.
Too little, too late.
You think so?
Yeah, because now you sounding like a hurt animal. You sounding, you know what I'm saying? You sounding bitter. Hey, it's NFL. What happens, happens. Let it go. You probably still getting paid because you ain't got another head coaching job. Let it go.
I won't say that it's too little too late, though, because he might do something to help get more black head coaches in the league by putting this out. So from that standpoint, I think it can work out for everybody if it's done right.
That's the thing, though. You got to look at the aspect of their mindset is going to be, you're going to follow what this brother did. That's not going to benefit us. You know, it's going to be be guilty by association. You're guilty by skin color when it's all said and done. If one nigga do it, the other nigga go do it. It's the 50 Cent mindset. You down with Ja Rule? Okay, you're my enemy just like him. You know, so it's really not going to work. But I let it go because if you still want to coach, why would I let you on my team if you spilling the tea on another team? I can't believe I said spilling the tea. Oh my God. But if I need you and I think you're a perfect fit, I'm going to think of that book. I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm going to pass and I'm going to go to somebody else.
True.
So he actually detonated his own career.
All right. You got anything else before we shut it down for the day?
All right. Yes. Did you watch I Am Athlete this past week?
You mean the fights? Yeah.
One, Brandon Marks need to calm the hell down. Calm the hell down. He need to cut that shit off too. And he doesn't realize what he's talking about. Shannon was actually the smart one this week, which was kind of like fucking surprising. Him and Fred. It was another good one. They keep surprising me with what they're doing. It was another good one. Do you ever foresee the NFL being able to be like the NBA with their contracts.
No, it won't happen.
I agree.
And Channing and Fred had a good point on why it won't happen. Now that you see how it works in the NBA, there's no way ownership will let that happen.
Yeah, and I think Chad was right to where had LeBron now finally got some balls, and Chris, and I like how Fred called out old boy from the players union. And
Yes.
you see, Brandon kept stepping around that. He wouldn't touch that. That's why Fred's that OG that don't speak, but when he takes a sip of his drink and he put it down, what he said vibrates through the whole conversation.
Well, here's the thing, and I side with Fred because Fred can say what he wants. He ain't got nothing to lose. Brandon is still on Fox Sports, and he kind of tiptoes because he doesn't want to piss anybody off, and it may come back to bite him. And I think that's what hurts Brandon. He's too afraid to step across the line.
Yeah, I think because he's on Fox and he's on Showtime. Because he does inside
nobody watches Showtime. We didn't need to mention that.
I used to watch it back in the day, but now
when it was on HBO.
Yeah. Back when
Lynn Dawson, Nick Bonacani
was on there.
Nick Bonacani is from Florida, man. He's not our hometown hero.
Lynn Dawson, you bastard.
Lynn Dawson, is that the dude that was smoking a blunt? They got a picture of him during halftime.
Cigarette, not a blunt, cigarette.
You call it what you want. He's holding it like a blunt.
Oh, you got time for 2 more questions? Or you gotta
go really, really fast.
Okay. Paul Pierce, was it stupid?
Hell yeah. Bold as hell, but stupid.
You think he did this get out of his contract?
I hope nobody's that stupid. I really do.
Because I wonder, because there was a video of him laughing afterwards, and then another video of him yesterday saying, I'm good, don't worry about it, appreciate the support, big things to come. So I say if that was the reason for him to be fired, but ESPN and Disney felt it was a bad look on the company, they fired him, they still have to pay him if it's not a clause in his contract. I would use that to stop him from getting a job till the contract is paid out.
True.
Otherwise, I expect to see him on Fox real soon. Because also, I don't think the appearance like that he wasn't getting his respect. Because he was kind of getting disrespected by some other NBA players that was on there because he got the one ring and it took Ray Allen and KG to get it. So I wonder if that, because I think Paul Pierce is a little sensitive. And also, he's talking about he got his own marijuana coming out too. So I guess he expected to get big things from that. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. But I don't see him getting any kind of gig anytime within the next, I'm going to say a couple years before we see him. And it really is also going to depend on if he posts anything else. Okay. If he, to me, if he was really sorry, he'd be like, yeah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did it. Even though he's fired. But to come back and do that second post, talking about, whatever, it's all good. Everything will work out.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me his mindset. And that's not the mindset of somebody that I would employ, whether I'm a competitor or not.
I will end it by saying I'm surprised at how easily he got fired. That there wasn't no warning, no suspension. It's just boom, you got to go.
He was from KU, so it don't matter.
Yeah, that didn't bother. I didn't care. Yeah,
and a Celtic, so yeah, that didn't matter.
Yeah, I hated Boston until it's crazy. I hated him in college at KU, but then I liked him when he got to Boston, and I hated Boston until he got there. So, yeah, but shit, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. No, I will say this, and you don't have to rebuttal or anything, then we can end it. Tyreek Hill will not be a Chief within the next 2 years. He will be gone.
Whoa. You saying that about your cheetah?
Because, thought about it. When he made that whole, I'm not restructuring. I let my agent and family take care of that. I signed my contract. That's good enough. And I was like, you know what? You shouldn't have to. Then I thought about it. If you had a $10 million bonus, they're just going to break it down to where you might get 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil each season. You're going to get your money because it's guaranteed. But then I thought about it also. You saw what happened to Hunt. We told you be truthful. We got your back. You got into your shit. We stayed behind you. Didn't involve beating kids and everything. Didn't flinch once. Told you, hey, stay out of trouble. We will reward you. You stayed out of trouble. We gave you a nice $80 million extension. Been taken care of. And when we come to you and ask for just to swing some money here, swing some money there, you hit us with that, you done bit the hand that fed you. Now we got to let you go out to the alleyway with everybody else that's trying to get your spot. Everybody we bring in here, we tell them, you're number 2. He's our number 1. When in all actuality, you're really a number 2 because you don't have the height of a 1. So
let's
you
face it,
spit on
in
the
that
hand
system, Travis Kelce's the number 1, period.
We ain't going to say that, though. We know, but we ain't going to say it out loud. You know?
I will.
Hey, your tight end is the number 1 on your team, motherfucker. You know, tight ends.
That's because we built the offense exactly as a carbon copy of the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Why you think we the only team that was able to beat y'all? Because it's a carbon copy.
Damn guru. That motherfucker took a picture. Ja Rule literally took. It was like an X-ray machine. He put that thing on the. Here it is, right here. Let me get my. Okay, let me.
But think about it. Think about it. 30 other teams in the league took that same picture and they couldn't solve it.
Yeah, like it's motherfucking Rubik's Cube or something. But when his guaranteed money's gone and it comes time to renew, we're going to drag our feet or we're going to give him an offer he don't like. We're going to let him go into the sunset because of what happened. So he needs to get a PR person, needs to get away from Drew Rosenhaus because if he doesn't look, he has to realize Drew kills a lot of his players with the teams they're with. And that was the start of it. Remember I told you, when he signed with Drew, I said that's going to be a problem. And look what's happening now. So I'm going to end on that. We in 2021, if Tyreek Hill still on the roster and being a player in 2023, going into 24, I'll be surprised.
All right, people, this show will be in the archives. As a matter of fact, before we go,
at that time, but you will see if I'm right or wrong.
Matter of fact, before we go, welcome everybody to the new and improved Two Dudes podcast channel. This is one of the first videos that'll be imported in there. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Love all y'all. Hey, as I always say, stay positive, stay blessed. Kevin, take us on home.
All right, football season's over. I don't even want to say my usual because Tyreek done pissed me off. And for some reason, I done broke my streak. I got on black today. But it's just a
smart man.
So it's a sad day in the world. That's why it's dark outside. So just holler at your boy. Don't yell.
Good night, everybody.
Holla.